Welcome back to the adventures of the Florida Powerboat Club right here on YouTube. Stu Jones, club president, along with our producer Ryan McCory in the FPC studio at Pompano Beach as we continue our coverage of that epic annual Key West offshore poker run presented by Mercury Racing. This time it's kind of a different cup of tea for us. It's more of a cup of nasty soup, and that's thanks to Hurricane and Tropical Storm Raphael as we try to make our way to Key West. But we got a good group together on the Thursday run. It's all right here as episode 2 goes forward. And as always, before we get started, let's thank our lovely sponsors who we could not exist without. Our Florida Powerboat Club 2024 calendar year is sponsored by Mercury Racing and by these annual sponsors, including Cigarette Racing Team, Concept Boats, Cortez Cove Marina, Deep Impact Custom Boats, Fountain Power Boats, Midnight Express Boats, Marine Technology Inc., Myco Trailers, Nortec High Performance Boats, Performance Boat Center, SD Marine Group, and by Wozencraft Insurance and Finance. And we're going to kick things off here on this Thursday run with Jason and Andrea Efron from the Pompano Beach area. In fact, they're in the boat business here. They're my neighbors, actually. Nice to have them on the run because it was their first poker run with the club in this 2013 39 Cigarette Top Gun Open. And what a huge difference from the boats they're making today. But in his video bio, he really liked the Marina Happy Landing down in the Keys where they stayed. And overall, they had a fantastic experience. Great to have them. And indeed, it is a purple Nortec. I think it's the first one that was ever painted this way. Greg and Jennifer Cannell from Texas, and they are dealers, Legend Marine Group from Dallas area. And what a beautiful boat she is, black bottom and purple throughout. They got a big crew on board and have been big supporters of this event for many, many years. In fact, they attend quite a few poker runs and send a lot of their customers our way. So thanks to Greg and Jennifer, and congratulations on the new Nortec Quad Mercury Racing 500Rs. And yes, indeed, he has a purple Lamborghini to match the boat. I hope he brings it down to Key West. And it's another Nortec 390 Sport. No, this one's not purple, and no, it doesn't have 2,000 horsepower. This is David Kramer with his first mate, Marianne, from New Jersey, and NAUTI Tendenseas. They've been on this run before, and they're just chugging along nicely in this earlier generation Nortec 390 Sport. They've got a big crew on board. Nice to see this gang back joining us in Key West. Here's a team that's a long ways from home, Arizona. So Lake Havasu crew here, Byron and Christy Storms, their 399 Deep Impact Quad Mercury Racing 450Rs. We had a chance to meet and hang out with them in Harbor Island, Bahamas earlier in the year. They joined us on the Tropic Ocean Airways recon trip, so enjoyed hanging out with them. And now for an important safety message. The first two boats, the crews were wearing their life jackets, but Byron and their team are not. It's mandatory for FPC. We need to see those PFDs on everybody. And it's two big events in a row for Chaz and Candace Owens from Georgia in Team Outlaw Woman. It's a 29 Eliminator. They did the Emerald Coast Poker Run earlier this year, and here they are 2 months later heading all the way to Key West. Joined today in the boat by Jake Cooper and his girlfriend Jennifer Keefe, and kind of a cool boat. It's got a single Mercury Racing 600 SCI, and this thing rocks. Let's listen in. And it's our first MTI Center console for the day. David Sacker from Illinois, Quad Mercury Racing 450Rs, and he has been a loyal follower of this event. I want to say he's done it about 9 times. That means if he comes back in 25, he's going to be celebrating 10 years. Many of those years was in a bright red Deep Impact 36, but it looks like he's enjoying this new MTI 42, obviously a big platform, and they're all wearing their life jackets. Thumbs up to David and his crew. And here's a team we have seen a lot of over the last few years. It's Brett and Allie Lasso from South Carolina. 38-foot Mystic Cat with a pair of Mercury Racing 400 RL6s. He's about the third owner on the boat and seems to be hanging on to it. You know, he had a really big Nortec 3600 Super Cat, super loud for a couple years, but seems like this boat is really treating them just right. Love the colors. A great running boat as they just skip across these bay waters right now on this beautiful Thursday morning. And now it's our first fountain center console for the day. Jason and Lisa Hill, all the way from Missouri, 38 SCX with triple Mercury Racing 400R V10s. A great looking boat. I love the simple colors, the red and the white, matched up to a black bottom. Nice look. Look at closely though at the cockpit of this boat. It's got great seating all around. A big departure from Fountain's fishing boat lineup for a boat that is designed for poker runs. And representing the Nortec High Performance Factory is our partner Bill Rayspec. Not his first Key West poker run, but I believe it is the first for this triple 500 2024 42-foot Monte Carlo model. Got a big crew on board, plenty of seating for everybody. I love the layout of this boat. And it's a big welcome back to Mike Francisco, Team Thunderstruck, all the way from Illinois. He's got his buddy Jim Keelan riding along on this classic 2002 38 Formula 382 Fastech, a pair of Mercruiser HP 500 EFIs. Remember those motors, guys? Oh, God, they were great motors. 1,470 miles one way to trailer all the way to join us, guys. That's fantastic, but I guess it was worth it because they came back 2 years in a row now. Said in his bio that he loved it. Keep it going, guys. It was great. And we've got first-timers, Craig Piercy, Team Bad Attitude, all the way from Kansas. Got his buddies riding along, Ron, Kelly, Frank, and Todd, in this 1999 46 Skater. Big 1,200-horse custom-built engines. Let's listen in. She's a beast. And it's Paul Captain PJ Jordan, Team Babbo, all the way from the west coast of Florida. So that's not too far. It's a 34 Nortec with triple Mercury Racing 300Rs. They often like to do the Tampa Bay event. Nice to see them joining us here in Key West. And in their video bio and for event highlights, PJ said that the event was well put together and his crew thoroughly enjoyed themselves. The Nortec lunch stop at Sundowners was fantastic. And a fun fact, by the way, the team name of Babbo is the Italian word for father. He lost his father back in 2023, so he named the boat after Dad. Hey, you gotta love that. And it's another team of first-timers. It's Dustin Orozco, the Bully, it's called, all the way from Lake Havasu, Arizona. This is a Deep Impact 399 with Quad Mercury Racing 450s. I love the layout of the boat. Real simple graphics with the black and green stripe. What did he have to say about the event? Well, he started off at Plantation Boat Mart. That's where he purchased the boat. And in Key West, he shared that the Conch Harbor Marina was a great location to dock the boat. They had great service. And just a note, Dustin, second team from Lake Havasu in a Deep Impact, and the second team not wearing life jackets. You gotta play safe. Another big Deep Impact. This time it's a new 499, the number one boat that is just came out. 5 Mercury Racing 500Rs. Dennis and Brianna on board. The dealers for Deep Impact. They're out of Plantation Boat Mart in Tavernier, Florida. This is a big launch, guys. The boat was just at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show just about a week earlier, making its debut. I was happy to be on board with the Deep Impact team to be a part of that event. But a couple more of these already in the pipeline. The number 2 hull is already out and has been making its way around the poker runs over the summer season. So excited to see in Key West we're going to have 2 of these 499s attending. So thank you to Deep Impact Custom Boats and as well as their dealer Plantation Boat Mart. And it's a big welcome back to Frank, or Shorty Schultz as we know him. Has done this event many times over the years, and I want to say at least maybe 2 decades of attending this event in a lot of different boats. But this Nortec seems to be the platform he's enjoying. They got a big crew on board, lots of room. You can bring all your friends when you got a Nortec 390 center console, Quad Mercury Racing 450Rs. A shout out to the guy in the back with the blue shirt. He's just having a blast today. Look at him. Oh, the helicopter comes down. He's dancing away, fist pumping. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's great. Nice to see the crew having fun. it's Ryan Shrimp from Missouri. He calls themselves Key West Virgins, first time on the run. He's got Heather, Kurt, Rachel, and Danny and Lisa riding along. The boat is a 500 EFI boat cranked up, 600 horsepower aside, and that would explain that great roar from those V8s. Fun fact, it's a 2000 model year twin-step cigarette, the same year as my 2000 straight bottom 38. And now we're back with Ryan and Rachel Garnett, Flight 311, all the way from Texas, and very, very active with Florida Powerboat Club. MTI 390X with a pair of Mercury Racing 450Rs. And a few items from their video bio I'd like to share. They said they really enjoyed scootering around the island, and they made a point of saying that FPC staff did a wonderful job working through the weather logistics with the hurricane coming through. And a fun fact, Ryan told me that on Monday when they came home, they got out in the ocean, they hit it hard, made it all the way home without stopping to Miami in 2 hours flat. Well, that must have been a cool ride home. And it's another MTI 390X. This time it's Craig and Paula Ackerman from Georgia. Team Level Up. Here's a crew that's done a lot of poker runs with us over the years. Way back in the early days, it was in a 29 formula that became a 34 MTI cat. They loved it and stepped it up to the 390X, and that seems to be where they're happy because they've kept this boat now for 3 or 4 years. And a landmark location here as the helicopter gets up high over the Card Sound Bridge. And just look back, you can see a lot of the teams as they make their way into the channel through Card Sound. That means they're only about 5 miles away now from the Key Largo stopover at Gilbert's and Jewfish Creek. But this is really kind of a great shot. I'd like to get up nice and high for this. Here we are, guys, just about an hour into the run, and we've already got nice blue skies in the background as we pass through Card Sound. Got about 120 miles to go from this point here at the bridge as we now catch up with John and Tyler Stella, all the way from New York. It's their second Nortec 390 Sport. This is a 2024 model. They just took delivery earlier this year. Very popular setup with the Quad Mercury Racing 400R V10s. Their poker run logistics involved a 1,300-mile haul from New York in the 2023 Ford F-250. I love the combination of the graphics and interior. What a great-looking boat. And it's another Nortec team. This time it's a local team from Miami, Anthony and Yvonne Sands. And Sands of the Sea is the name of their boat. It's a 2018 with Quad Mercury Racing 400Rs. And I noticed in his video bio another fun fact. He's probably the guy that traveled the least farthest to be there. Keeps the boat at Bayshore Landing, which is right beside Monty's at Coconut Grove, or Grove Harbor Marina. So didn't have too far to go. But indeed, it is their very first time. He said the captain's meeting video was very, very informative. It was their first time, and they were excited to attend in their new boat. And a special welcome to Tom and Lisa Cox from Illinois. The boat is called St. Thomas. All on board with them is Peter, Joy, Dr. Tony, Laura, and Captain Tommy. And the event highlights for them were, in their video bio, they said they rode in some 10-foot seas for the last 5 to 10 miles heading into Key West. That's some big waves, guys. I told you guys don't go on the back side. I mean, I don't know what. That's why we go on the opposite side. Oh, well, at least they had their life jackets on. So thumbs up to this crew. And it's welcome back to Dan Krzyzewski, who's been around the club for several years. Started out in the cigarette Top Gun way back when. Since then's had a couple of these Nortec center consoles. This is his brand new 400 powered by Quad Mercury Racing 500Rs. What a beautiful boat. Got a big crew on board. Just got to remind you, Dan and everybody else, life jackets are mandatory on all FPC events. So guys, let's get with the program next time. And let's welcome back Adam Panici along with his father, David Panici, in the GC. It's a 2022 Outer Limits 41 SL. Beautiful graphics, powered by Mercury Racing 700s. The boat stays at Boca Raton at Marina 1, not far from where the club headquarters are. They said that in Key West, they stayed at the Ocean Key Resort. It was a great experience with their boat docked at A&B Marina on the raft up. Fun fact was that Adam had told his dad how much fun he had on the year earlier doing the Key West run, so David said, you know, I gotta go. So here he is riding along. And we have made it now to Jewfish Creek in Key Largo. As I said earlier, it was about a 5 or 6 mile crossing over Barnes Sound until we get to this entrance. And this is where we want everybody to slow down. You don't always have to come right off plane. If you're with a big group, it's good to come off plane. I think that was smart that these guys pulled the boats down. And it's only about a 5-minute idle speed ride through the Jewfish Creek to Gilbert's. And then moving our way back into Barnes Sound, we still have a lot of traffic incoming. So the helicopter is going to stay out and pick up as many boats as they can while they're up on plane. And it's second time around for Richie Leon all the way from Massachusetts. And I say that because he joined us for the Spring Key West Poker Run back in March earlier in the year. So here he is now 2 times around. And no, that's not a triple engine Fountain 38. That's a quad. But apparently one of the motors is tipped up so you can't see the other one. So with 3 Mercury Racing 450s in the water, he's still got 1,350 horsepower, plenty to get him all the way to Key West. And a lot of representation from the New England area. This time it's Stephen Moykin from New Hampshire, and the team is named Must Be Nice. It's a 2017 Mystic M4200. It's got Quad Mercury Racing 400Rs. A long way from home. They trailered 1,460 miles one way to come down and join us in a 2024 Ford F450. He's got a big crew on board, and thumbs up on the life jackets. And now catching up with Andrew Rocco in his MTI 390X Team Time Conscious. Apologies to Rocco because helicopter is going to zoom back to the Bay Area. We're going to pick up Rocco in some future episodes. And here's a concept model we don't see a lot of. It's a 30 concept with a pair of outboards 300 Verados. This is Xavier Fulval, his first time doing the Key West Poker Run. What a great looking machine though, and Concept will have a new version of this boat on display at the Poker Run Village in Key West. A big shout out to Team Sanders Ford, Matt Raymond III and his entire group, including Mike and Holly Riggs, are here with 3 boats. Well, they had 3 registered, but because of the weather, only the 34 Fountain came to Key West. And here's a boat we're now very familiar with. It's my king of clubs, the Nortec 390 Sport, hull number 500, celebrating the most popular model of Nortec's 30-plus years of history. This one powered by Triple Mercury Racing 400 V10s. It's been a great boat for me. This was the first shakedown run. Brought the boat right out of the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show to attend the Key West Poker Run. Slowing down here in Jewfish Creek as I pull up alongside that other Nortec 450. There's a nice shot up from up high. You see a lot of boats that are in safe harbor. Remember, Tropical Storm Rafael just passed through the area a day earlier, so you're going to see a lot of these boats in safe harbor throughout the Florida Keys. Okay, so now that we're getting positioned at Gilbert's, maybe we'll just kind of fly around here a little bit and give you some nice visuals. You can see the raft up is starting to take shape. They didn't do the very good job again. They left that big gap in the middle. I think we all know the rules, guys, is bows over sterns. In other words, when you set the rows to raft up a big group at Gilbert's or any restaurant for that matter, you never want to give up that wasted space in between the boats. You got to keep the rows tight, and you've got to stack the rows as you come in. You can't make a big row and leave a huge gap and then start another row, because basically that space in the middle is not usable. So this is a lesson about rafting. I've talked about it over and over for years, and this is a disaster in my opinion. So guys, let's get it together. You know that when you come into a big place like this, you got almost 500 feet of bulkhead, and you have to use it wisely. And there are some other videos from our other events that showcase just how well it can be done, but it really takes you. We cannot possibly have enough dock masters to make this happen at one location at one time. You remember, we have at least 5 lunch stops, actually 6 lunch stops today, so we've got to rely on the participants to get everything done right. Let's say hi to Chris and Lori Nizetta all the way from Illinois with this big MTI 48 Team Bugatti. They've been on a lot of runs with us over the years. Okay, back out here as we make our way to some of the boats that are milling around. There's Ryan and Rachel Garnett. I'm going to let it roll here, guys, as we just kind of wrap things up at Gilbert's. Remember, there's at least 4 or 5 other lunch stops. We're going to pass by and catch up with some of those just a little bit later. Well, here's a couple of cigarettes that kept going past Gilbert's into Blackwater Sound. That's Ed Stella in the black and white boat, and that is Anthony Pirano in the blue boat. They are matching SD41 cigarettes, both powered by Mercury Racing 1100s. And the reason they pass by is they're headed to the cigarette owner's lunch just a few miles down. One more time with Adam Panici. Let's listen to this big 41 with Mercury Racing 700s. Great shot of that Outer Limits running through the mangroves. And here we are on Blackwater Sound. This is Sundowners. It is the site of the Nortec Owners Lunch. And it's been a great location for Nortec now for going on probably 5 years now. They've got things sorted out here with the docking, although they did mess up one detail, and that is that T-head right there should have 2 rows of boats on it. In other words, the way that row is set up right now needs to be positioned forward, more like where the green boat is, and then we get another row off the back side. The reason it wasn't a problem today is because there's not a lot of boats attending because of the storm. Many boats were uninsured, couldn't make it to Key West, or decided the bad weather was kind of a deal breaker for them, and they flew into Key West or drove down. Nonetheless, so Sundowners put on a great event every year. A nice lunch, and it's a great location even for those who want to squirt a little bit of fuel, because there's a gas dock here, and it is a private marina, but they do let us come back every year, so they've been very gracious to let us come in and use the basin for overflow if we fill up the docks here at Sundowners. And moving forward now, just down about another 10 miles in Key Largo is Playa Largo Resort on this beautiful bay. Look how nice the weather is now. This drone content just caught the tail end of the cigarette owner's lunch, and everyone that was there told me it was absolutely fabulous. I mean, I've been to it before with my own cigarette, but I drove my Nortec down on Thursday, so I was over at the Sundowners lunch. Usually have about 18 to 20 boats at the cigarette owner's lunch. Of course, with the weather challenges, quite a few were not able to make it here, but there's Max Eldridge with his 36 Gladiator, just redid the entire boat. And the rest of the boats mostly center consoles, as you can see on the dock, including that big 59 Tirana. And there's the restaurant in the background. It's called Soul by the Sea, and it's an open-air restaurant overlooking the marina. Nice stopover. We're going to get the boats back out on the bay waters now as they're going to continue heading south. We're at mile marker 97 on US 1, so that means it's 97 miles to Key West. So, of course, by boat, with the route we're going to take, which is primarily on the backside, the protected waters, not in the ocean, we're going to add, probably another 15 miles to the trek. So we're looking at about 110 to 115 miles to go now. So it should be about a 2-hour ride if we all assume a comfortable cruising speed somewhere around 50 or 60 miles per hour. And this drone shot really depicts the resort much better. Remember, it's Playa Largo Resort. Soul by the Sea there is the restaurant, but this is our destination for the January Winter Poker Run event, which will return in 2026. It's always our first event in late January, so it's the shortest run we do from Miami down to Key Largo is only about 60 miles, but everyone seems to really love Playa Largo Resort. It's a Marriott Autograph Collection property, so it's very high-end, and it's been well received. Can't get a lot of boats in here, though, maybe 25 to 30 boats maximum, depending on how we do the docking, and we always cross our fingers and hope that the winds are not out of the north, because this is not a protected marina. So special thanks to Cigarette Racing Team for hosting the Cigarette Owners Lunch here at Playa Largo. Let's move on. And now repositioning just a little bit further south. This is Snake Creek at mile marker 85. So, it's about 12 miles further south than where we were just a moment ago at Playa Largo. We're here at SD Marine Group on Snake Creek, and they have conveniently built themselves a helicopter pad for the owner, David Peterson, who likes to fly choppers, and they have allowed us to land here. So the coast-to-coast helicopters from Pompano Beach, Florida, have flown us all morning. Dropped off our photo and video crews so Ryan and the guys could have lunch here in Isla Morada, and he's going to fly home, and we're just going to hang out here a little bit. This, of course, is always a fuel stop location with a fuel truck. That seems to work out well for us. We have 93 octane non-ethanol fuel, and sometimes race fuel if we need it, but most guys are happy with the 93 octane. And the Sea Dreams boat is also owned by David Peterson, who I just mentioned. He's the owner of SD Marine Group, who are sponsors of the Key West Run. They have been extremely helpful with allowing us to use this venue year after year. Looks like Kenny Armstrong and his lovely crew are stopping for some fuel here at SD Marine. So the Phantom, which is a 2012 MTI 48, has been kind of a fixture in our poker runs and a popular boat doing events all over Florida and Texas. A second helicopter now arriving from Key West. This is going to continue our photo and video mission as we head further south and gather up some great media content for our YouTube channel and for, of course, our website and the pages of the FPC magazine. Remember that all attendees of all FPC events get access to all their photo and video content as well. So we have just approached the 30-minute mark again, guys. So that is going to conclude episode 2 with feature coverage of our Key West Offshore Poker Run 2024. Of course, we have a ton of footage and a ton of exciting activities down in Key West over the next couple of days. So we're going to be back shortly with episode 3 and feature coverage as the teams continue south through the beautiful Florida Keys. And thank you for watching. Remember to stay tuned by subscribing to our channel and clicking that notification bell, so you'll get an update every time a new episode is released. For more information about club membership and upcoming events, visit our website at flpowerboat.com, and you can find more content on our many social media platforms. Thanks for watching, and make boating safety a top priority by always wearing your life jackets. Bye for now.